Nelson's one major problem is complacency. But I can tell you that there is a lot of intensity in this American team. They want to get off to a good start, and they know that they've got a good team against them tonight in Spain. Eurosport viewers will recognize quite a few of these Spanish players, notably Jordi Villacampa, he of Juventud Badalona. Of course, Juventud won in Tel Aviv. They won the European Championship for men's clubs. And Ferran Martinez, he was one of the main players for Juventud. But it's the Americans who win the tap. And there's Villacampa with a steal to open the scoring. So it's 2-0 to Spain. Great steal there from Jordi Villacampa. Took the ball off Kevin Johnson. And almost another steal for Spain. 13 for the USA is the mighty Shaquille O'Neal. 7'3" of prime beef. It's 2-2. Ferran Martinez looking to get the ball inside to Villacampa. And that was number 8 for Spain. That's Andres Jimenez. Had his shot blocked, actually. O'Neal on the turnaround. And the rebound, Villacampa. Spain, they're not going to lie down. Ferran Martinez misses, and the rebound easily gobbled up. The rebound for number 7 for Spain, that's Juan Arenga. Five is Rafael Jeffresa, the elder brother. His younger brother Thomas not here in Toronto, not selected for Spain. Arenga with a hook shot, the rebound from Shaq. And playing point guard as well at the moment. Oh, nice pass from Shaquille into Shawn Kemp. But 2 points won't count because there was a foul. The Spanish number 7, Arenga, fouled Kemp with his pass from O'Neal into Shawn Kemp. And Arenga clearly stepped across his man, a blocking foul. So sideline ball to the US. Reggie Miller inbounds it to Kevin Johnson. Here's Johnson. O'Neal pushing on the offensive boards, and that's the first foul against the Americans. Referees get the whistle, but rather get the bird from the crowd. Coach Don Nelson just looks impassive. So a couple of minutes gone, and only a field goal apiece. Jeffresa, listen to the talking of these Americans on defense, helping each other all the time. And the rebound, well, it was an air ball, gobbled up by Shawn Kemp. And the first 3 of the game, the Americans lead 5-2. Jimenez back to Villacampa. Arenga offers Villacampa a pick, and there's Jimenez outside the arc. Foot violation, new shot clock to the Spaniards. So Jimenez with the out-of-bounds ball. Arenga. Ferran Martinez. This is Villacampa, defended by Shawn Kemp. Ferran Martinez, the hook shots, and absolutely swatted away by Shaquille O'Neal. That ball was still on the way up, and it was batted out of bounds. Watch this. Here we go. One of the best shot blockers in the league. In fact, the best shot blocker in the NBA, that is. Well, with that kind of presence inside, then most teams are going to be severely intimidated. Because the shot was blocked, it's a new shot clock. Contempt. Villacampa being fouled. So that's the second team foul against the Americans. Orenga. Jimenez. Back to Orenga. Orenga inside, and it's 5-4. Nice move from Juan Orenga. Kevin Johnson being fouled on the drive. Fouled by Rafael Yofresa. So, good start here from Spain. They only trail 5-4. And that's Reggie Miller's second three-pointer. It's 8-4. And that's Shaquille O'Neal's second block. Miller off on the break, and Kevin Johnson takes the score to 10-4. That's how to run a fast break. Shaquille blocks the shot, and the US off to the races. So 5 quick points from the US. Villacampa, Yofresa, he hits a three. It's 10-7. Spain definitely not overwhelmed. Kevin Johnson pulls up, and the rebound for Ferran Martinez. Great atmosphere here in the Cops Coliseum, and the rebound taken by Shawn Kemp. Kevin Johnson, Joe Dumars. It's a two, it's 12-7. The luxury that Don Nelson has is that he can put any 5 players, pick any combination and put them out there, and he knows that he's got the best team in the world. And that's an offensive foul against Ferran Martinez. So, Coach Lolo Sands calls timeout. He trails 12-7 and wants to talk things over. Well, we'll also take a break. Join us after this. And there, the field goal percentage shooting. Spain doing pretty well, scoring half their shots, but the United States, they're scoring 2/3 of theirs, 68% to the Dream Team. And that translates to 13 from 19 for the US and 7 from 14. So the intimidation factor is what is hurting Spain at the moment. They're only getting 14, only got 14 shots away. And on the screen there, Alonzo Mourning from the Charlotte Hornets, number 2 draft pick in the 1992 draft. And this, Jordi Villacampa of Badalona, the European club champions for 1994. And of course, Villacampa will be extremely proud of that achievement, having lost a couple of years ago to Partizan Belgrade in Istanbul. 15 is Larry Johnson. Mark Price at guard, and Joe Dumars, he started and he's still on court. This is the three, but Price picks up the loose ball. And inside the left-handed shot is Alonzo Mourning. That was a good hustle there from Mark Price. Rafael Yofresa defended by Price. Jimenez, a veteran of the 1992 Olympics. And Reggie Miller not quite able to hustle the ball after nearly making a steal. Spaniards under intense pressure. from the opening tap. Ferran Martinez just on the arc. It's a 2. Well, it's given as a 3, but line his feet were on that white line. However, 31-22. Spain hanging on in there. There's Reggie Miller from downtown. And Martinez picks up the rebound. Villacampa penetrating all the way, misses, and the rebound taken by Mourning. Joe Dumars pulls up for 3 and buries it. 34-22. Joe Dumars of the Detroit Pistons. 2 NBA championships to his name in 89 and 90. 31 years old now, Joe Dumars, but playing like a spring chicken. Rafael Jofresa with Villacampa. Spain have made no substitutions as yet. And surely these players getting a little bit tired. There's Jimenez inside, and he's fouled by Alonzo Mourning, who reckon it Jimenez elbowed him away. The respect that these players have for their coaches is immense. Just looked across to Don Nelson there, smiled and nodded. Oh, the first substitution for Spain, Alberto Herreras from the Estudiantes Madrid club, replaces Jordi Villacampa. And on the line is Jose Andreas Jimenez, as I said, played for the Spanish national team in the 1984 Olympic Games, in the final, in fact, where they lost to the US 96-65. And Jimenez hits the second. He's 34-23. There's a holding foul called. Off the ball foul against Rafael Jofresa. And on court for the first time as well, number 6, Pablo Lasso from the Taguras Vitoria club. Eurosport viewers will remember, runners-up in the European Cup this year. The secondary European club competition. Alonzo Mourning backing his man in. And that's called traveling. Good defense there from Ferran Martinez. Nine minutes remaining in this first half. It's the USA by 11. Look at that, turnovers. The Americans 5. Spain 2, and that's another 3 for Ferran Martinez. 34-26, so the margin now a very respectable 8. Alonzo Mourning inside, he's pushed by Ferran Martinez. The speed that pass was given inside was something else. So that's the 7th foul against Spain. Mark Price to Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller outside the arc, and this is the 3, but Mourning picks up the rebound and shoots off the glass. 36-26. Alonzo Mourning led Charlotte Hornets in scoring and rebounding last season. Jimenez forced to go outside and hits a turnaround. 36-28. Spain playing very, very well indeed. Another 3 and another rebound for Ferran Martinez. Just deflected out of bounds there by an American hand. Lolo Sanz replaced Antonio Diaz-Miguel after the 1992 Olympics. Miguel coached Spain for 27 years. That's some tenure. That shot was on the way down, and Alonzo Mourning touched it, so it's interference. So Pablo Lasso gets 2. If we get a chance to see the replay of this, let's see if the shot is on the way down. Yep, just about. And Alonzo Mourning's hand was about 18 inches above the rim there. So Dan Marley for the first time. Dan Marley, the number 9, nicknamed Thunder. by his Phoenix Suns teammates. I tell you, the world governing body of basketball, FIBA, they've definitely bent their rules somewhat to accommodate this kind of thing. And who's to say it's a bad thing, because the crowd are loving this. Well, the official attendance figure here is 18,000, but apparently this stadium only has 17,000 seats. So they've squeezed a few extra people in. The US easily out-rebounding Spain. Well, he's disappeared into the crowd there looking for his basketball. So back to the action, the real action. And that's a travelling violation against Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson, a teammate of Alonzo Mourning at Charlotte. With a full court pressure now from the Americans. 7.5 minutes to go. It's Spain trailing by 6. Marley defending Jimenez. Reggie Miller defending number 11 and fouling him. That's Alberto Herreras. Gets 2 and he's got a bonus as well. The foul against Reggie Miller. Oh, 36-32 with a bonus to come for Spain. Here we go, there's the defense. And there's the foul on the elbow. Kevin Johnson substituted back in. I don't detect any semblance of complacency whatsoever in the Dream Team 2. But this is a superb performance from Spain. Of course, last time these two teams met in World Championships, Spain actually beat the US. The time before that, in '82 in Colombia, they beat the US 109-99, but not in the 1986 event, which was held in Spain. And that's Larry Johnson on the fadeaway, gets 2. There was an off-the-ball foul as well. And the foul against Orenga. Lolo Sands, a wry look up at the scoreboard. And Don Nelson subbing in number 6. This is Derrick Coleman from the New Jersey Nets. Derrick Coleman, number 1 draft pick in 1990. Came out of Syracuse. So the foul was actually called as the shot was in the air. And it's Spain who have a 1-and-1 opportunity. So it's 38-32. And Ferran Martinez on the line for 1-and-1. We won't be hearing the expression 1-on-1 too many more times in basketball because the rule's changing on September the 1st. No 1-on-1s, it'll be 2. Well, Ferran Martinez, the ball bobbled in and bobbled out again. It's 38-33. There's a defensive foul against Herreras. Alberto Herreras. Well, it was a choice of 2. It was actually Pablo Lasso given the foul. So Kevin Johnson on the line for 1-on-1. 39-33. Foul shots absolutely crucial. Had Ferran Martinez hit his, then it would have been an entirely different scoreboard. As it is, Kevin Johnson hit both of his, so it's 40-33. Under 7 minutes remaining this first half. Herreras, nowhere to go. Orenga on the fadeaway. It's 40-35. There is still a very remote possibility of the most almighty upset in the history of basketball, I reckon. Odds against that very, very long indeed. But who knows? It's the USA 40, Spain 35. Herreras fades away, hits two, it's 40-37. Are we on the brink of an earth-shattering surprise in the Men's World Championships? Still 6 minutes and a few seconds to go in the first half, and the US only lead by 3. The crowd getting very excited, getting behind the Spanish now. Look at that, turnovers. The US 7, Spain 2. There's a foul, and it's Larry Johnson pushing, and that's 1-1. Well, despite the mutterings, the foul was pretty obvious. Here we go. Here's the shot from Kevin Johnson. And watch Larry Johnson pushing. Yep. Just as Orenga leapt for the rebound, a little hand in his back. And there was the shove, and Shawn Kemp comes in, replacing Johnson. So, Orenga has an opportunity to reduce the arrears to 1 if he hits both these. 40-38. .39, cool indeed from Juan Orenga. And that's a foul. Mark Price penetrating, is held, and he has a 1-on-1. Here we go, here's Mark Price, and Pablo Lasso just reaches in. Shame, because Orenga reckon he had the measure of him. So Mark Price from the Cleveland Cavaliers led the Cavs in scoring free throws, three-pointers, and assists last season. And he's 6 feet tall, 30 years old, and he hits the first of the one-on-ones. Look at that, Spain have overtaken the US in field goal percentage now. And Mark Price misses the second, so it's 41-39. Now, if Spain score here, then they tie things up. Unless, of course, it's a three-pointer, which would mean they go into the lead. The Spanish trumpeter in full pitch. Orenga, the defense has stepped up. There's a three-pointer. Ooh, Spain go into the lead at 41-42. Herreras hits a three. And the lead is back with the USA. Kevin Johnson penetrates. It's 43-42, and he's got a bonus. Well, I reckon Spain were in the lead there for about 5 or 6 seconds. But they are still very, very much in this game. There's Johnson going inside, fouled by Orenga. So Johnson gets 2, and he's got a bonus. It's 43-42 to the US. And Johnson hits the bonus shot, 44-42. The crowd are definitely well and truly on the side of the Spanish at the moment. They want an upset. Orenga nowhere to go. The help defense was intimidating. Pablo Lasso. Orenga spending a long time in there. The fadeaway misses, and Mark Price gets the loose ball. Very patient play there from Spain. Price goes in, fades, and the rebound is taken by Derrick Coleman, and the slam. It's 46-42. The Americans know they've got a game on their hands, and they are playing with 100% intensity now. They have to. 4.5 minutes. It's the US by 4. Jimenez inside. Back out to Laszlo. Mark Price on the steal. No backcourt because the Americans have got it. There's a foul. That's 1-on-1. The two won't count for Dan Majerle. That was terrific hustling from the Americans and Mark Price in particular. Here we go. Here's the hustle. The hands. Mark Price puts it into the front court and the Americans get there first. Dan Majerle, he's fouled by Pablo Lasso. And those four men on screen know they've got a game on their hands. Dan Majerle hits the top of the one-on-ones. 47-42. Remember, Spain led 2-0 on a Villacampa steal, and they led 42-41 only a minute or so ago. But now it's 48-42 to the US. Pablo Lasso, Herreras, playing to the game plan. Don't get involved in a run-and-gun situation with the Americans. Let's play with some patience. I'm sure that's what Coach Lolo Sands has said. And they are responding very well indeed. Well, this is defense par excellence from the Americans. And Mark Price gets the fast break away. 3-on-2. There's a foul. Well, he's traveling, actually. Shawn Kemp deemed to have traveled. When the Americans feel they're in a little bit of trouble, what do? They look to their defense. And the last 2 minutes has been an example of that for all to savor. So it's 48-42 with 3 minutes 41 to go in the first half. So with 3:41 to go, it's the US leading by 6. And this was the three-pointer from Herreras that took Spain into a 42-41 lead. And that lead wiped out after 5 or 6 seconds by a drive from Kevin Johnson, who got 2 and a bonus. So Coach Don Nelson issues the instructions, run back. 9 is Antunes for Spain. And the American bench stood up en masse then and called walking. There's a foul, and the foul is against Derrick Coleman. A holding. He held Rafael Vecina. And Coach Lolo Sands just tells his players, button your lips. 30 years old now, Rafael Vecina from the Estudiantes Madrid club. He has a one-on-one. The Americans still muttering something about walking on their bench. It's 48-43. The new rules coming in September emphasize that the back foot is the pivot foot. So I fully expect most referees to be extra vigilant as far as traveling is concerned when the new season starts. A good rebound from the Spanish there. 12 is Jose Cargol. Antunes. Martinez outside the arc, hits a 3. Well, this time his feet were on the arc, and it's only a 2. 48-46. So the lead back to 2 for the US. And rebound Martinez. Spain could tie with this fast break. Antunes throws up a prayer shot. That was a shame because a patient offense was needed there. Mark Price hits the 2. 50-46. Spain paying the penalty there for taking a bad shot. The reply was virtually immediate with a fast break from the Americans. And that's an American ball. Good hustle there from Shawn Kemp. 50-46. A scintillating performance from Spain. And whose hand touched that last? It was deemed to be a Spanish hand. And Reggie Miller back in for Dan Majerle. Majerle, a veteran of the 1988 Olympic Games, and the Americans got only a bronze. That's Derrick Coleman, 52-46. Under 2 minutes in this first half. Spain hanging on. 12 is Jose Cargol behind the back dribble. While Price defends against Antunes. Antunes penetrates, dumps off. And Vecina over the top. It's 52-48. 11 is Kevin Johnson, the left-handed drive. 54-48. 1.5 minutes. Antunes. Price steals the ball. And the one-handed dump off to Reggie Miller. 56-49. Great steal there from Mark Price. And an assist. 1 minute remaining. It's the USA by 7. Martinez again from three-point range. This time he misses, and the rebound taken by Derrick Coleman. Reggie Miller to Price. Price, the one-handed pass inside. Derrick Coleman, no traveling call. 2 off the glass. 58-49. 35 seconds. And this is the biggest lead the Americans have had for a long time. And that's a blocking foul against Kevin Johnson. Stepped under too late. And Herreras will have foul shots. Joe Dumars back in. And he's substituted Mark Price. Good phase of play there from Mark Price. Great hustling on defense and a couple of nice assists. Herreras. It's the bonus. 58-52. You heard the instructions from the American bench. 1 good shot. We got 20 seconds. It's the US by 6. Kevin Johnson. Who are they going to look to? Is it Johnson? Goes inside, gets fouled. That's 1-on-1. The foul against Antunes. So Kevin Johnson will have 1-and-1. It's 58-52. Don Nelson not as happy as he might have been at the end of this first half. And a substitution request. Dan Marley wants to get back in there. And Reggie Miller takes a break. 1-and-1 to Kevin Johnson. Yet to miss from the foul line. 59-52. And Johnson just wants the net sorted out. Very polite request there from Johnson, but he misses the bottom of the 1-on-1. Antunes. Cargol on the buzzer, and it's 59-52. Despite the fact Cargol looked for the foul, it's 59-52 to the USA. It's the start of the second half of the USA against Spain. And Shaquille O'Neal will contest the jump ball against Ferran Martinez. Didn't see an awful lot of O'Neal in that first half, apart from a couple of memorable blocks. One in particular against the man he's jumping against, Ferran Martinez. The Americans commented that the Europeans probably won't have seen anything like Shaquille O'Neal, a man his size, his quickness, his muscular physique. And Coach Don Nelson contends to have O'Neal spend a lot of time on the bench in that first half. But Ferran Martinez beats him to the tap then. This is Antunes. Antunes hits a 3. It's actually Jose Cargol. And there was a discrepancy on the score sheet during that half-time interval. Spain were actually docked a point because a three-pointer from Ferran Martinez was deemed to have been only 2. So it's 59-54 now after that 3 from Jose Cargol. Spain's big men not afraid to shoot from distance. This is Cargol handling the ball like a guard. He doesn't quite get the drop there. Jose Cargol from Real Madrid. Joe Dumars into Shaquille O'Neal, and Reggie Miller out of bounds. Referee Rafael Cortez. There's Reggie Miller from Indiana. And Tunis, Ferran Martinez, defended by O'Neal. Herreras back to Antunes. Antunes uses for Herreras as a pick, and the rebound taken by Shawn Kemp. Kevin Johnson. Johnson in this team as a late replacement for the injured Isaiah Thomas, of course. Joe Dumars back to Reggie Miller outside the arc, misses the 3, and the rebound taken by Herreras. This is Herreras again, and Spain another turnover. Looks suspiciously like a backcourt there. There's Joe Dumars outside the arc and punishes Spain with a 3, 62-54. Spain have got to cut out these unnecessary errors, leaving their feet looking for a pass and giving the ball away. Antunes, defended by Johnson. Martinez, defended by O'Neal. No way through there. Antunes penetrates, and he's fouled by Kevin Johnson. And Kevin Johnson reckons he got his hands entirely on the ball. The referee saw it differently. Here we go, and let's look at Johnson's hands. Yep, hands on the ball, but the foul probably called as a result of a hand on the body during the drive, called by referee Danko Radic. So Antunes on the line for 2. Hits the front of the rim. Johnson just discussing the situation with Joe Dumars. Antunes hits the second. It's 62-55. Kevin Johnson. And Shawn Kemp is fouled for 2 shots. Bit of a scrappy phase of play here. Antunes there defending Johnson, but Shawn Kemp is fouled by Rafael Vecina. And Kemp hits his first of the game. 63-55. And Shawn Kemp stays on 1 point. Shawn Kemp from Seattle. Shawn Kemp, actually the only player in his team not to attend college. Picked at number 17 in the draft in 1989, despite not going to college. As Kevin Johnson misses. And Shaquille O'Neal gets the rebound, and he's fouled. Fouled by Jose Cargol. Well, when O'Neal's around, then there's a little bit less daylight. And his Vecina inside, intimidated by Shawn Kemp. Johnson off on the break. And there's the rebound situation. O'Neal battling away. And hits the first of his 2, 64-55. Mark Price back on court. Shaquille O'Neal, the second. 65-55. O'Neal from the Orlando Magic, #1 draft pick in '92. Americans enjoying now a 10-point lead. And Tunis defended by Price. Look at the job that Kemp is doing on Herreras. And Joe Dumars picks up the air ball. Dumars inside, fouled. That won't count. We don't play continuity in international ball. And the foul against Herreras. So Dumars change of direction, change of pace, and goes past Herreras. Sideline the Americans, and it's with Price. And the pass inside, and an uncompromising foul there. Reggie Miller thrown to his backside. Is the pass inside from Price to Miller, and the foul, Jose Cargol. If you're going to foul someone, don't let him score. That's what was going through the mind of Jose Cargol then. But Reggie Miller punishes him from the line, 66-55. (67-55). Mark Price getting a lot more court time in the Dream Team 2 than John Stockton did in Dream Team 1. Similar kind of player, but well, Stockton was actually came into the team late as after an injury, scared in knee. It's a good hustle, and the Americans come away with possession. The all-court defense of the Americans there, and Mark Price misses the three, but Shaquille picks up the garbage. 69-55. The Americans getting away from Spain now. And still no Dominique Wilkins. There's a defensive foul, and Coach Lolo Sanz wants to talk things over. Play. The Croatians beat Cuba. Australia scraped home 87-85 against South Korea. As we saw on Eurosport, Greece beat Germany by 10. Russia beat Argentina, and Canada beat Angola. The surprise, I suppose, the defeat of Brazil by China. However, back to the action here, USA against Spain. Orenga back on court, defended by Shaquille O'Neal. And O'Neal takes the rebound from Pablo Lasso's shots. Mark Price dumps it off to Shawn Kemp. And there's a defensive foul. So Spain accumulating fouls pretty rapidly now. Ferran Martinez that time. Here we go with Price. Little shovel pass to Shawn Kemp.
15 foul on Spain. Martinez, number 10,
Joe Dumars back on court. Shaquille O'Neal, Price. Derrick Coleman outside the arc, hits a three. It's 72-55. The margin suddenly 17. So has the Spanish storm subsided? Herreras misses, and Kemp the rebound. It's all USA at the moment. Joe Dumars outside the arc, another three, 75-55. So from a 5-point margin, or rather a 4-point margin, it's suddenly 20. In the space of 3 or 4 minutes, the Dream Team 2 have virtually sealed this game. Defensive foul there against Reggie Miller. Actually, the foul was against Mark Price. And the legendary Juan Antonio San Epifanio comes in for the first time tonight for Spain. The most capped Spanish player ever, Epi, number 15. He, a veteran of the 1984 Olympic Games final. And Spain lost heavily to the USA, 96-65. And Pablo Lasso, a defensive foul. Here we go, Price. Change of pace and draws the foul on Lasso. Lasso's fourth. Reggie Miller, the inbounds to Joe Dumars. Look at that scoring run, 17-0 from the US. They've suddenly picked up the pace, picked up the intensity on defense, and Spain are reaping the whirlwind. Reggie Miller, it's a 20-0 surge, 78-55. 20 points out of defense, really. 14 minutes to go, and the game has really gone away from Spain. They played superbly for about 24 minutes, but it's just gone out of their reach. And they are having to work for every scrap. And there's O'Neal again, swatting the ball away. That was out of bounds from Reggie Miller. The crowd got to its feet then from that block shot from the man on your screen there. That was Shaquille O'Neal. Here we go. The hook shot is batted away with contempt. And this time Spain scores, so they've ended the drought. It's 78-57, their first score in an age. Mark Price keeps possession. Coleman from downtown, the foul against O'Neal, boxing his man out on the offensive boards, illegally so. And O'Neal dumps Enrique Andrew on his backside. So O'Neal picks up his third, and it's Spain possession. Long time to go, and it's the US by 19 now. It's 78-59. So, 4 points without reply from Spain. They need a lot more than that. Joe Dumars to Kemp. And the battle on that board, that Spanish defensive board, is immense. Derrick Coleman coming back in. And replacing the 7'3" O'Neal. Mark Price downtown. The rebound taken by Coleman just into the game, and a good rebound. Joe Dumars. A little shuffle from Dumars. Derrick Coleman. There's Dumars outside the arc and hits a three. 81-59. Epi is fouled and put on the foul line. The foul, Shawn Kemp. So Epi, is he about to score his first two of this, the 12th World Championships? Larry Johnson re-enters the fray. 35 years old now, Epi, a legend in his own lifetime. It's his first. 81-60. Epi, of course, plays for Barcelona, who came fourth in the 1994 European Championship for men's clubs. Disappointing for him, but what an illustrious career he's had. 81-61, the US. 12 and a half to go. In this Pool A game, the other two teams in this pool, Brazil and China. On the turnaround, it's 83-61. Derrick Coleman from the New Jersey Nets. Let's listen to the talking on defense from the Americans. Communication is what defense is all about. Oh, that's a nice pass off there. And the reverse layup from Enrique Andrew. Nice phase of play there from Spain. 83-63. The trailing player is Larry Johnson. Lasso off on the fast break. Villacampa leaves his feet, and Epi. The rebound, Price. The crowd loving this. And that's no foul. Villacampa knocks the ball out of bounds and then goes across and congratulates the referee on not calling a foul. So it's a timeout. The score 83-63. The US lead by 20. And we'll take a break too. Join us after this. With 7 3/4 minutes to go, it's 93-71 to the US over Spain. The crowd being richly entertained during timeouts, as is normal in NBA-type games. And there's some foul trouble for the US. And 3 Spaniards on 3. Only Kevin Johnson on 4 fouls. 5 is Jofresa. 7, Arenga. And almost a steal there for KJ. Villacampa just holding him off. And there's a shot clock violation. Good defense there from the Americans. And difference in shot clock regulations between NBA and FIBA being discussed here. We heard Don Nelson shout out the ball's got to hit the rim. Well, the shot clock violation has been given. Spain failed to take a shot within 30 seconds. Shawn Kemp inside. Gets his own rebound. No score clearly indicated by referee Rafael Cortez, but we have foul shots instead. Spain really now just have to go out there and enjoy this game. They're not going to win it, but they have to learn from the experience. And Shawn Kemp hits the first of the one-on-ones, 94-71. And the second, 95-71. Kemp, who never went to college. Americans talking every pick. This is Villacampa. This is the 3. Epi gets the rebound. And Dan Marley there just waxes, man. And the referee didn't call the first foul, but that's just taken aback, I think. Alonzo Mourning actually adjudged her foul, but Dan Marley delivered what can only be described as a bit of a karate chop there. Wow. And Alonzo Mourning was adjudged to have fouled. And on the line is Enrique Andrew, one-on-one. It's 95-72. Spain are going to go out of this game with a lot of credit. Americans paid them a lot of respect as well, and the margin is definitely not going to be embarrassing. The assist from Mark Price, well, the pass anyway, and Shawn Kemp is fouled by Epi. Epi at only 6'6" is dwarfed in there. Here we go, Price. Behind the back dribble, almost loses possession and dumps it over his shoulder to the trailing Shawn Kemp, who is fouled by Epi. And at last, what the crowd have been baying for, their first sight of number 12, Dominique Wilkins, the human highlight. 34 years old now, the number 12, Dominique Wilkins. Had a pretty unhappy season, actually. Transferred from Atlanta to the Clippers in exchange for Danny Manning, and we understand now he's been picked up by the Boston Celtics. So he's been around a bit this season, Dominique Wilkins. And it's Alonzo Mourning having fouled. On the line, Jordi Villacampa. Steady as a rock, Jordi Villacampa. And the second. 96-73. There's Kemp inside again, and again he's fouled, and again he'll get a bonus. The foul against Arenga. 98-73. Here's a replay of the foul against Orenga. And Kemp strong enough to score and get a bonus. 99-73. Price still playing full court defense. Ufresa. With Villacampa outside the arc. Dumps it off to Orenga and gets dumped on his backside himself. And Tunis. Villacampa for three outside the arc. 99-76. The crowd appreciative of that one. And the rebound from Ufresa. This is Villacampa. Nice move from him. 99-78. Enjoying the occasion. Jordi Villacampa. 99-79. Under 6 minutes. So, if it were not for that 20-point surge from the Americans early in this second half, then who knows? Villacampa picks up the air ball. 99-79. Villacampa fouled by Price. It's run and gun time from both teams. The result now virtually certain. The US are going to win this one. Don Nelson just has a little word in Mark Price's ear. Villacampa on the line for 1-1. Reggie Miller on the bench, looking impassive. Shaq invades Canada. So the margin 18 now, 99-81. A very, very respectable performance from Spain. Well, it's still possible for Spain to win with over 5 minutes to go, but not with shooting like that from Mark Price. 101-81. The Stars and Stripes reign supreme. Ufresa looking for a way in. Lovely pass from Ufresa. Villacampa couldn't believe he had that much space. Dominique, a behind the back pass to Dan Marley for three. 104-81. The assist from Dominique Wilkins. It's showtime really with under 5 to go. The US lead by 23. Villacampa. Nice pass inside. And Villacampa is fouled. Dan Marley's first. And Steve Smith comes on court for the first time as well. Steve Smith, the number 8 from Miami Heat. A 6'8" guard. Smith, drafted number 5 in 1991, led Miami in assists last year, came from Michigan State College. Villacampa hits the first, 104-82. I heard the word zone come from the American bench then. And Villacampa hits the second, 104-83. Alonzo Mourning inside on the turnaround. And the rebound taken by Shawn Kemp and the slam, 106-83. Great hands there from Kemp, the long arms, and a great slam. Crowd going wild, even though the Americans lead by 21 now, 106-85. There's an offensive foul. Great defense from Villacampa. And Dominique Wilkins, his first foul, trying to mow his man down. So it's a 21-point margin with under 4 to go. Ufresa, Villacampa again on his backside. And look at the job that Dominique Wilkins is doing on Villacampa. Pushing, shoving, holding. Anything goes. And we have a timeout. Dominique Wilkins, his second foul. Only been on court a couple of minutes. And can't understand why he's suddenly got 2 fouls against his name. Look at this replay of the Shawn Kemp dunk. 3:53, it's 106.85 for his license. So if he were considering a comeback, he would have to go back to Chicago. So almost back to the action. It's the United States 106, Spain 85 with 3:53 remaining. So after that Dominique Wilkins foul, it's 1-on-1. Villacampa again on the foul line. And again, he scores the top, 106.86. .106.87. Villacampa easily Spain's top scorer. And Alonzo Mourning going to the hoop is fouled. A foul against Enrique Andrew. So Alonzo Mourning on the foul line. Not considered particularly big for a big man. Alonzo Mourning at 6'10", a mere 6'10". He led the Hornets in scoring and rebounding last season. And hits the top of the one-on-one, 107.87. Alonzo Mourning, the number 2 draft pick in 1992. Who was number 1? Well, that man O'Neal. It's 108.87. A shovel pass from Ufresa. Villacampa. Ufresa outside the arc. Hits a 3. 108.90. The margin still very, very respectable if you're a Spaniard. Ufresa off on the break, and there's a foot violation which isn't called, and Dominique Wilkins opens his account. 110.90. And that came off a little bit of a suspect foot violation. But Dominique's not going to give up an opportunity like that. So just about 3 minutes, and it's the US by 20. Orenga to Villacampa outside the arc. Yes, he hits a 3, and there's a foul on the play. So the 3 is given. It's 110.93, and that should be Spain's ball from the sideline. So Alonzo Mourning leaves the game on 5 fouls. And Epi is put on the line for 1-on-1. The ball deemed to have left the shooter's hands, so there was no team in control. And Alonzo Mourning committed his 5th foul as the ball was in the air. So Epi is put on the line for 1-and-1. 35 years old, Juan Antonio San Epifanio. It's the first. 110.94. This is the closest Spain have been since that 20-0 surge early in this second half. 110.95. Well, a little bit optimistic there from Smith. Villacampa, well, he got 2 there, and he got a foul. And I think he shot with his eyes closed then. And did he enjoy that or what? And did they enjoy it, the Spanish bench? They're loving it. Well, look at the smile on Villacampa's face. The assist from Epi, and Villacampa had his feet taken away and still managed the reverse layup. Here we go. This, we'll get into any highlights film. And the three-point play from Villacampa. It's 110-98. Well, only 12 points, and dare I say it, who knows? Could we have an amazing turnaround in Spain's fortunes? Dan Marley for two. 112-98. That was a great run of play there from 110-90 to 110-98 for Spain. 8 points without reply. That's their biggest surge of the game, but the surge was ended by Dan Marley. It's 112-98. And that's a Spanish ball deflected by an American. The smiles on the face of the coaching staff of Spain. They've enjoyed this. Didn't expect in their wildest dreams to win this, but would have hoped to have competed, and that's exactly what they've done. With under 2 minutes, they trail by 14. And the rebound by Villacampa. And I almost said, who else? What a great game we've had from Jordi Villacampa, the 30-year-old Spaniard. Spain doing very, very well indeed, going into defeat. Epi outside the arc, fouled after the shot, but nothing called. And Jofresa gets the rebound and sets up a new offense. It's 112-98. Epi in the corner, back to Jofresa. Jofresa going inside, misses, no foul called, and Wilkins gets the rebound. The Spanish bugler on song. There's a three. It's 115. Smith opens his account. 115-98. We're in the last minutes. Jofresa. Can Spain get to three figures? Andrew inside on the turnaround. That's a travel. Went up. Got the shot blocked and landed with the ball. That's a travel. It's 115-98. Steve Smith outside the arc, misses. And that's a Spanish possession out of bounds. Jofresa, 35 seconds remaining in this Pool A game. The United States against Spain. The States lead by 17. But I must emphasize, this has been a superb performance from Spain. No one expected them to get anywhere near the US. And there's Villacampa, fouled by Reggie Miller. So Villacampa again goes to the foul line. You don't often see teams smiling in defeat in basketball, but the Spaniards came here to enjoy it, and that's exactly what they've done as a result of having competed for almost the entire 40 minutes. 115-99, 115-100. So a high-scoring game, which the Americans will win, but one in which Spain will leave with tremendous credit. And that's an offensive foul against number 6. That's Derrick Coleman, just trying to remove his man from the spot on the floor that he had taken up, and you can't do that. So Derrick Coleman, the foul, but his team were in control, so it's sidelined to Spain. 5 seconds. There's Epi outside the arc. 3 seconds. And the three-point attempt is unsuccessful on the final buzzer. So 115, 115 to the USA, 100 to Spain. And Coach Lolo Sanz has one finger up in the air saying, we lost to the #1 team in the world. And that is no disgrace against Spain. What a tremendous performance from the underdog.